The NFL season is finally here, so make sure you're ready with NFL Sunday Ticket and YouTube TV. It gives you the most live NFL games all in one place, exactly what you need to make your Sundays more magical. Sign up today at youtube.com/Sunday Ticket. Local and national games on YouTube TV. NFL Sunday Ticket for out-of-market games excludes digital-only games.
Ryan Reynolds here for, I guess, my 100th Mint commercial. No, don't. No. I mean, honestly, when I started this, I thought I only have to do like 4 of these. I mean, it's unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. How are there still people paying 2 or 3 times that much? I'm sorry, I shouldn't be victim blaming here. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/save. Whenever you're ready.
$45 upfront payment equivalent to $15 per month. New customers on first 3-month plan only. Taxes and fees extra. Speed slower above 40 gigabytes. See details.
Think you know the Brooks Ghost? Think again. Introducing the all-new, better-than-ever Ghost 16. Now with nitrogen-infused cushioning for lightweight, supreme softness that feels good every step, every street, every single day. So go ahead, take your daily joyride in the all-new nitrogen-infused Ghost 16. It'll turn your everyday miles into everyday endorphins. Let's run there. Head to brooksrunning.com to learn more.
Reporting live from under my blanket, I'm Susan Curtis with Dunkin' at Home. Breaking news, pumpkin spice iced and hot coffees are back. I'll pass it to Mr. Curtis with his blanket for the full story.
That is so right, Susan. You know, it's never too early to get in a spicy mood. I'm talking cinnamony goodness that's so tasty, people don't want to leave their blankets either. Back to you.
No, back to you.
All you.
The home with Dunkin' Pumpkin Spice is where you want to be.
Welcome to the Eagles Checkdown right here on the Eagles Pinpool Podcast Network, the fastest 10-minute or less Eagles podcast, bringing you news, notes, and opinions from your favorite football team, the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm your host, Phil Stiefel, on all social media platforms at Beard A Knowledge. Guys, we're going to recap today on Wednesday, September 25th, the Tuesday press conferences from Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio, some roster adjustments that the Eagles made. And at the end of this short episode, we're going to have a little fun and dig at somebody else in the media, you know, just for fun, right? All right. So anyway, on Tuesday, guys, Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio spoke as they always do to the media. Well, Michael Clay spoke too, but no one pays attention when the special teams coach talks. But anyway, I wanted to discuss what those two gentlemen had to say. First and foremost, Vic Fangio spoke to the media. And again, as always, as typical Vic Fangio, very blunt, very honest, very open individual. And, you know, he started off talking a lot about Jalen Carter and his big game on Sunday against the New Orleans Saints. And a key word that key phrase that he used in his press conference talking Jalen Carter was that he set the standard, hopefully, for what the rest of 2024 will be for Jalen Carter, but also the rest of the defense. Jalen Carter is the highest rated pass rushing defensive tackle in the NFL at this point per PFF. And it showed when he's motivated, when he's focused, you know, how disruptive Jalen Carter could be. Hell, Jalen Carter could be a Defensive Player of the Year candidate at some point in his career if he continues to build off of Sunday's performance against the New Orleans Saints. And he talked about it. He did little things well, Vic Fangio said, techniques a certain way, and fundamental things he did well, and it all added up and helped set the stage for other players on the defense to have big games as well. And when you get pressure, when you win on the defensive line, it sets up your linebackers, it sets up your defensive backs, your safeties to make big plays, which is what the defense did. So Jalen Carter set the standards, set the trend for what Vic Fangio and the Eagles want Jalen Carter to be like, but also the defense to be like. Some of the other notes I took from his press conference, first and foremost, Brandon Graham. He was asked about Brandon Graham and the performance he had, not just on Sunday, but so far this year. And he did say, Vic Fangio, that he thinks it's sustainable. I mean, he said that Brandon Graham does not look tired, and it's rare for somebody of his age, 36 years old, to be playing at this level. But he has the expectation that he can keep it up and sustain it all year long. He didn't have the expectations coming into training camp for Brandon Graham to be at this level. They were for Bryce Huff probably, but we'll talk about that in a second. But he saw in training camp something in Brandon Graham that let him know this is not a retirement victory tour. and it is something that he expects him to continue to be able to do. He did mention Bryce Huff will continue to be mixed in rotations. He didn't want to make any reason why Bryce Huff played less snaps in week 3, made it seem system and matchup work. I doubt that's what it is. I was just probably trying to protect Bryce Huff a little bit. He did mention that Keely Ringo came in that moment for Darius Slay because in those spot moments, Keely Ringo is more ready for those moments. If it happened early in the game or before the game that Darius Slay got hurt, he mentioned that Isaiah Rodgers would probably start the game if a Slay was missing. Something else, that he mentioned that I really, really, really liked was he was talking about Chauncey Gardner-Johnson in the press conference. And he talked about his, how great this Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is as a player and his personality and what it brings to the team and the confidence and the mojo of the team, to paraphrase a little bit. But he did say that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson has to be careful. You can't take it too far. So that was something I was really impressed with. We're happy Vic Fangio said, mentioning that Chauncey Gardner-Johnson's great. The personality is good. But be careful. You got to know when to reel it in and when not to reel it in. So that was that. They were the notes I took from the Vic Fangio press conference. Now, the Kellen Moore press conference, I know Kellen Moore is not going to give you what Vic Fangio does. But after Nick Sirianni spoke Monday after the game, and we talked about that on Tuesday's episode, I was waiting to hear what Kellen Moore had to say about the play calling, about the fourth downs and stuff. And in typical Kellen Moore fashion, in typical, stereotypical head coaching way of not saying anything, Kellen Moore said nothing. Basically just said it's a collaboration. We all have our ideas and we work together. He didn't really make it, Nick Sirianni, when he spoke about it, Nick Sirianni was like testy and trying to hide or, come out with this breaking news that he calls plays. Kellen Moore was like, it's no big deal. Like after Monday's press conference, you heard it in Tuesday's episode. I was confused and pissed off the way Nick Sirianni spoke. But after Kellen Moore spoke about it, it sounded very coachable, very coach-like speak from Kellen Moore. The collaborative effort with Nick and company, no different than anywhere else that Kellen Moore has worked, Dallas, the Chargers, etc. So I really like that. It comforted me a little bit. It made me feel a little bit better about the Nick Sirianni-Kellen Moore relation. Whether it's good behind closed doors, I don't know. But to the public eye, it seemed okay, so it kind of calmed me down. He was asked and did speak about the wide receiver position. And just like Nick Sirianni, he is very confident in the group they have. Paris Campbell, Johanna Dotson, Johnny Wilson. They're the guys probably that are going to be there on, Sunday when we play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're the guys we're going to have to rely on. The Eagles did make some roster moves on Tuesday. They activated Jack Stoll. They took him off the practice squad, added him to the active roster. They added John Ross from training camp to the practice squad as a wide receiver. And what's interesting there is because should A.J. Brown play or not, that is a question. Paris Campbell only has one more elevation left, and they didn't move him up to the active roster. Jack Stoll could still have been elevated 2 more times. And the fact that they bypassed that and just put Jack Stoll on the roster tells me A.J. Brown might be back this week. I don't like the idea. I'm more of a cautious guy. Give A.J. Brown an extra week with the bye to make that hamstring 100%. But the fact that Jack Stoll is on the active roster now and John Ross added to the practice squad with Paris Campbell only having one more elevation allowed left tells me A.J. Brown's a lot closer to being healthy than, before. He did talk Kellen Moore about the interception with, Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith and where Nick Sirianni kind of took the blame and stuff like that. Kellen Moore just said flat out the defensive back made a great play on a route that they run regularly. And I like that way of looking at it as well. Yeah, Jalen Hurts can't make that throw, but let's give credit to the defense making a good play. The Honey Badger's one of the best safeties in football for a long time now. So that was a good way to look at it. Real quick, I want to throw a little jab at some people here. Obviously, Monday Night Football, the Bills smoked the Jags, and the Washington Commanders beat the Cincinnati Bengals. And John Marks and Brandon Lee Gouton of Bleeding Green Nation were talking on a show on Tuesday about quarterbacks that they would take over Jalen Hurts. And they both said they'd take Jalen Daniels over Jalen Hurts at this point. And I'm just like, guys, come on now. Let's be serious for a second. Are we really going to take this rookie quarterback after 3 games? I know it's an overreaction after Monday Night Football, and he did play well against the Bengals. The Bengals stink at this point. Come on, guys, be better. I'm tired of having to defend Jalen Hurts week in and week out. And I know the interceptions have to be better, but there's no scenario where Daniels is being taken at this point going forward over Jalen Hurts after 3 games. Yo, John Marks, Brandon Lee Gown. Relax. Guys, this is the Eagles Checkdown on the Eagles Pin Pull Podcast Network. I'm Phil Stiefel. If you want a longer version of this, check out Trending in the AM, linked in the description. It's my morning show every Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 9:30, taking all your opinions on these topics and more. Eagles, Phillies, Flyers, Sixers, you name it, we talk it, guys. I'd greatly appreciate it. Subscribe, and I greatly appreciate you guys checking out this show. Again, this is the Eagles Checkdown, the Eagles Pin Pull Podcast Network. I will see you guys tomorrow, talking more Eagles football and whatever else comes up in the news, guys. Have a great day. Go Birds, and bubbles up to you.
Hey, it's Kaylee Cuoco for Priceline. Ready to go to your happy place for a happy price? Well, why didn't you say so? Just download the Priceline app right now and save up to 60% on hotels. So whether it's Cousin Kevin's Kazoo Concert in Kansas City, go Kevin, or Becky's Bachelorette Bash in Bermuda, you never have to miss a trip ever again. So download the Priceline app today. Your savings are waiting.
Go to your happy place for a happy price. Go to your happy price, Priceline.
When it comes to towing, seeing is believing. That's why Chevy Truck's advanced camera technology offers up to 8 available cameras for 14 unique views, so you can focus on the view that really matters. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Learn more about Chevy Trucks at Chevy.com. Safety or driver assistance features are no substitute for the driver's responsibility to operate the vehicle in a safe manner. Read the vehicle owner's manual for important feature limitations and information.
Jewelry isn't a gift you give just once. It's a way to remind your loved one of a beautiful moment every time they see it. Blue Nile can help you find the gift that says how you feel and says it beautifully, with expert guidance and a wide assortment of jewelry of the highest quality at the best price. Go to BlueNile.com and experience the convenience of shopping Blue Nile, the original online jeweler since 1999. That's BlueNile.com to find the perfect jewelry gift for any occasion. BlueNile.com.